my soul into your hands, my Jesus. Come on, guys. Lead me, 'cause I depend on you. Lead me and I'll serve you. Please be my God in every way. Be my God. Oh, go astray. Sanctify my heart and my knees until I feel alone. As you have always said, I'm far from all goodness. As you have always said, oh, far from all goodness. Come unto me, oh, you Mary. Come unto me, and you'll find it. Come unto me, I am the way, I am the truth and life. When my heart gets to live for it, and darkness overwhelmed, the path will lead me first away. For you are Prince of Peace. You are my shield, you are my hope, you are my strength, you are my hope. You are the perfect love, oh Lord, no shame shall I fear, as you have always said. Oh, source of all goodness, as you have always said. Oh, source of all goodness, come unto me, oh you Mary. Come unto me, and you'll forget. Come unto me, I am the way, I am the truth and life.
In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Please, if your phone on, just switch it off. I don't like someone during the topic or in the church. Leave the church to answer them. Fair enough? Okay, first you have to respect the place we are. Secondly, we have to respect the Word of God. If you are in the college or uni, it's not nice. What about in the house of God? Okay? We all know this Tuesday we celebrate the feast of the feast part, and Wednesday he's man. And I love him. Since I was in high school, that's why my partner thanks. When I come to Australia, we start every year make celebration for him. We make CD for his miracle. We give away his miracle. We make festival in our church. We get a speaker from outside. And 2 years ago, he was very happy from us. So we are maybe the only country outside Egypt. We have some of his relics in our church, St. George Kensington, and we have big night this Tuesday and Mass Wednesday. And this year we're giving DVD for his life story, with his in English and Arabic. The movie, Magic Tawfiq, and we translated in English. So to talk about St. Moses the Black, we have to talk about repentance. We have to talk the work of God through this sinner person to change him to be a saint. We talk today about 4 points and 2-3 miracles of his life. I used to, every year, 1 week, when I was in Egypt, we have to go in his feast to serve in his monastery. In his feast, about 10,000, 20,000 people come, they love him. So they sleep over for 1 week. Every day they have festival, they have mass, and they have his feast. They put some spice in his body, they make turn around the monastery, beautiful time, but the population, huge. That's why they use the scouts. They used to run scouts in our church, so we'll go control him. So I saw my eyes some miracle, and I will tell you guys. So first point we talk about today, people looking for God, God found them. So you the one look for him, but he will find you. Number 2, you never lose hope for someone sinner. If even his life, like St. Moses the Black, God is able and he can change his life. Number 3, by yourself only, you can't reach God. You need someone to help you. And that's what happened in St. Moses the Black, his confession father, St. Isidorus. And we see how he guided him through all the way. Number 4, if you're changing your life, don't come back to what you used to do before. You have to leave everyone, the people who was with you in the sin, you have to leave all of this. And that's what happened with him, and we'll go through. Number 5 is going to be some milk. Quick, St. Moses the Black, he is not Egyptian, he is from Ethiopia. He never believed in God, but his heart was looking for God. That's why God found him. He every day coming to the sun and asked the sun, if you are a God, just tell me. Coming to the fire, tell the fire, if you are a God, just tell me. Until one day he was talking to sun, someone he told him, if you really want to know God, go to the monastery, ask the monk, they can teach you. So he went to ask the monk. He met Saint Isidorus, and Saint Isidorus started to guide him. When he started to repent, he confessed with everything. Saint Macarius the Great got him in the church, and in that time was the confession public. When he stand up to confess, he confessed with everything in front of everyone. They saw the angel of the Lord with white plate and every sin written in black. So every sin he confessed, the angel wiped it off until all this plate was clean. And Saint Macarius the Great, he baptized him after with Saint Isidorus. Saint Isidorus, when Saint Moses the Black, he used to get hungry, he used to at lunch eat full lamb. One day he wanted to get lamb. He's swimming from one side of the river to another side and the knife in his mouth, all the way to go to kill the shepherd and to get lamb in his shoulder and to swim back all the way to see how he was vicious and he was evil person. So Saint Isidorus, when he see how much he used to eat in the monastery, no way they can feed him like this. So Saint Isidorus, he was very wise. He got a big tree and he started put all this weight of bread for him in one side on the scale and the same weight on the scale, the piece of food. And he tell him, every day we feed you the same amount. So every day, Saint Isidorus feed him the same amount. So what happened? He cut piece of food this much, maybe this piece 5 kilos. This piece 5 kilo, and he put 5 kilo weight of bread. So what happened? Second day the wood won't be fresh, it's heavy. So next day the wood get dry, so the weight get less. Third day the weight get less, so the bread get less. So every time the wood get dry, the bread get less, until Saint Moses started fasting for 1 week without eating and 2 weeks and so on. So first point, if you look for God, God he will find you. Saint Paul, what he was doing, he was people killing Saint Stephen and he was watching. And he was thinking he do something good. But because he was doing this for God's sake, God found him. And he got him and appeared to him. And when Saint Paul came to the floor, he said, God, what you want me to do? A lot of people, they start, especially people come converted from Islam to Christianity. They have to stand firm and start to talk to God and ask him, you are the real God? He showed himself. And they start converting. But must be people looking for him. If they start looking for him and get the right step, he will find them. So first point, Saint Moses, he was looking for God. That's why God found him. Second point, we never lose hope for anyone sinner. Even if he never goes to church. St. John Chrysostom, he said, as long as the human have breath, God is still hoping his salvation. So as long as anyone have a breath, God is still have his salvation. This is a story, one priest in Egypt, he said this story. One guy, the use of the church, he gets heroin. And he gets addicted with his heroin and he can't give up. So the church took him to the hospital to try to fix it. He can't. Finished. So what he used to, I said, Abuna, when I visit the home, every time I visit the home, I found some of the furniture gone. Until last time I go, I found only 2 chairs. Another time, last time I go, I found only the light. The chair gone. So after he found even the light, he sold the light. What he used to do, his father was died, his mother only looked after him. He used to wait for his mom to take her back and defeat her and took the money to go get heroin. So what his mom done, the church can give her furniture, the church can give her money because every time he got money, she got money, he beat her and take the money from her mother. She worked in one of the houses as a slave just to find a food and shelter. And Abuna, he said, every time I hear his name, I get very angry for what he done to his mother. His mother, after she gave up on him, she left all Cairo and she went to Upper Egypt to her parents, and she left even the flag. He took the flag and sold it, and with all the money, he started drinking heroin. Abuna, he said, in that time, we lost contact from him because his mother was the only contact. He never came to church. He said, after 5-6 years, I was in one of the monasteries with the slave of the church, and someone from behind, he called my name. So when I looked to him, he said, he's not my name, so I start to concentrate about him. He take his glasses and tell Abuna, you remember me? He said, yes, I remember you, but he said, I want to ask you what you do. He told him, Abuna, now I am consecrated deacon, working with people, Christian doctors, this one, to get anyone hooked with heroin to back to the church. Because no one else can understand these people unless me, because I used to go through this one. So because God saved my life, I dedicate my life to help everyone to come back to the church, especially people addiction with heroin. So if you see the story from beginning, this person hopeless case. No one can say never can come to the church. But God, he has a lot of way to get this people. St. Paul, you see him, how many Christians he killed. Even St. Stephen, one of the holy deacons, he killed him, and he was watching and encouraged people to kill him and looking after their clothes. Everyone sees St. Stephen in that minute, he said, God, why you leave him to do this? God, why you not taking his life? But how many St. Stephen brings him after he be a Christian? Until now, people, they read his books, they convert to Christianity. Until now, we learn from teaching and tradition. So number one, if you look for God, God will find you. Number two, we never lose hope for anyone. Number three, you can't reach God by yourself. That's why the church put the intercession of the saints, and that's why the church put your confession father. I come to my confession father, I tell him, Abuna, I have these problems, he guides me. Abba Musa, in one day, he went to his confession father about 10 times in that night, because the temptation and the bad thought and the adultery he used to do and the killing he used to do, all the devil, he not going to leave him alone. Exactly like when you come to the church and you want to try to change your life, the devil not going to leave you. But as long as you're firm and strong, God support you. So St. Isidore, he come to him 10 times. And he told St. Isidore, I'm embarrassed to come here all this time. He told him, come with me, come. He took him in one of the hill at night and looked to this side. He found the devil, they wanted to attack him. In another side, he found a lot of angels supporting him. They told him, look, we have more angels support us than the devil. And with his confession father prayer, God, he take away his temptation. So confession father guide you through your eternal life. Number 4, last one in this, if you start your spiritual life, you have to keep away everything bring you back from God. When someone takes any addiction, first thing the doctor tell him, you have to keep your evil friend away from you. Because the time you go back to them, the time you will go back to addiction. If you find anyone is smoking, you ask him why you smoke. Who teach you? Unfortunately, one of the friends. Anyone alcoholic, who teach you? Unfortunately, one of the evil friends. Each one take drugs or whatever, who teach you? Unfortunately, someone from evil friends. But we're not going to call him friend, because the friend, he look after his friend, not to keep him away from God. Anyone come between you and God, he not your friend. Anyone rich come and they make you come close to God, he is your friend. Someone encourage you to come to the church. Someone encourage you to see your confession father. Someone encourage you to fast, or he hears some nice tape about any sermon, give it to you. But someone take you to this or that, or we have meeting and go away, we're going out tonight, or 3 o'clock, whatever, he take you out of that. Alright, another story to show you the importance of the confession father. This is a story happened in Egypt in 1960. One guy, his name Magdi Yassa. This boy, he was in the church. But unfortunately, again, his evil friends, they start go out, they need some money, they start stealing. One time when she was stealing, they saw one old woman, and she started screaming, they killed her. So another 2-3 months, he was stealing one of the flats, the police arrested him. So his sister went to Abuna Mikhail Ibrahim and told him, Abuna, my brother, he gone shy. We need you to come and pray for him. So he went for trial, they charged him with 3 years. So the solicitor then appealed. So he told the Abuna, I want to have Holy Communion. He said, son, if you want to have Holy Communion, you have to confess. So during his confession, he told the Abuna, I killed someone. He said, hold on. You be charged 3 years because you're stealing. But now, you're telling me you killed someone. That's a different story. You want the Holy Communion, you have to confess. He told the Abuna, if I confess in the court, they can hang me. He said, you want the heaven or the earth? He went and all night was praying with tears. Saint Mary appeared to him and she told him, listen to Abuna Mikhail Ibrahim. When the appeal come, he stand up, the solicitor coming to get him away from the 3 years. He stand up in the trial and he said, I didn't say everything. I have to change what I said. He said, what happened? He said, in that day I killed this woman. The judge, he told him, be careful, anything you say can I take against you. He said, no, I am sure. I did this. Instead of the trial to go for 3 months, 3 years, they hanged him. Between the times they hanged him until he died, that take time, 3-4 months, 5 months, he was praying, his life changed, he had his Bible all the time, Saint Mary appeared to him twice, and when he going, they hang him, they get his photo and was in the newspaper. He was smiling and happy because he's already repented, he's already ready to go. And this story now they make it movie. And Abuna Mikhail Ibrahim and in his story too. They movie now in the bookshop you can see. So it is very important. When you back to God, don't go back to his old friend. Saint Moses the Black, his confession father told him, Musa, now you're all white. But the time you get out of this monastery, all what you was doing before will come back to you. So again, number 1, you have to look for God. God will find you. Number 2, you never lose any hope. Even your sin like Saint Moses the Black, God can change your life. Number 3, your confession father. Number 4, if you start your spiritual life, don't ever go back with friends that take you away from God. I have nice 2 miracles I saw it myself. One of them I saw it in the monastery of Saint Moses the Black. If you go over there, you found in his, what do you call it, tomb or shrine. Yeah, you found one singlet and with blood they write Musa. What happened? This lady had possessed with devil, and just they bring her to the monastery. She started screaming. Saint Musa, he cast the devil away, and they found her singlet, they write Musa, and they put it over there. One day this happened in front of me. I was working in the kitchen to do tea for people. I said before, like about 10,000 people. So to do the kettle was maybe this big, and they have the gas cylinder this big, and the 24 hours to cover all these people. So what happened? They changed the gas cylinder from 1 to 1. So when we started to make tea, the pipe was leaking. So I found the light started working very quick to the gas cylinder. was in the front of the window. The window will give the tea. Behind me was 3-4 people. By the time I go from the door, it will. If this explodes inside, we all finish. Not us in the kitchen, the people outside too. So I have 2 options: to jump or to go back. To jump, there is people, you can't jump. To go back, I have 3-4 people and the door closed. So by the time I go back, it's already the fire and the... So I can't do anything. I just looked. I found one who was under to be a monk. I found him what he done with his bare hand. He got the fire, stopped the fire, and took the cylinder quick outside, and we stand it quick, he closed it, and let it run, and he put it out. I don't know how he done it. I don't know how it happened, but it's 100% can execute. But he done it because his monastery, he was looking after his monastery. One of the anyone who went to reach his monastery, he found new church, big new church. They call it Amba Musa Church next to the monastery. The monastery, if you go to the front, right hand, big church. What's the story of this big church? Someone he imported iron metal from Italy to use it in the construction. In this port, they bring 150 tons, something like this iron, and that's very expensive. And they're coming from Italy to Egypt. What happened in this port? Because there's a very heavy load, the iron, if the boat move this side or this side, very hard to bring it back because the heavy load, they can sink it around. So when the boat coming was very rough sea, so the ship captain rings the owner and told him, listen, it's very hard to come safe. We do our best, but if something happens, we jump and that's what can happen. The man, he went to the monastery of ATHANASIUS the Black, and he stayed for 3 days in his church. And they told him, ATHANASIUS, if my boat come peacefully, I built a church for you. So this captain of the ship, he was not Egyptian, he was Italian. So he said, he come and the ship come safe. And he told the man, what did you do? He said, I didn't do anything, what have you? He said, every time the boat starts moving, we see someone black coming out of the water and pushing forward. Every time they move in this side, someone black come from the water and pushing forward until we come. What did you do? He built all the new church, and this is one of the miracles he wrote in his book, ATHANASIUS the Black book. This happened with me in one of the exams in the university. It was funny, but I have to tell you, I have in second year in the second year of Faculty of Arts, we have 900 pages with the history of Roman. So to study 900 years plus, I have another 9 subjects with hopeless. So what I did, I have to study what's coming in the exam every year. I found this doctor was about 75 years, 80 years, and he took 7 PhD or PhD in only Cleopatra. He loved Cleopatra, and every year in the exam he gives the same question. Every year the same question. So what I did, I studied the question and I expect the same question coming. So alright, and I give you 4 questions just to write 2, and the 2 take fully 3 hours. So my year, I was very lucky. He didn't get any one of the questions. And this subject, every subject, I gave it to one of the times. This subject was ATHANASIUS the Black. So I just, I stayed 15 minutes. I did general answer, and you can do much. 900 pages, I did study, I studied questions. So and I told him it was first subject in the exam. Imagine another man, I said, oh my God, first one like this, what about the rest? So I have to back home and study hard. What happened, I told him, that's not nice, Amba Musa. I serve you all this time and you do this to me. Anyhow, the exam gone, and I went to see the result. What the system in Egypt, they go see the man who do the tea, you give him 5 pounds. If you pass, he takes the 5 pounds. If you try in this subject, he gives you the money back. So I give him 5 pounds to check my result. So he come and he said, you pass. I told him, no way. I passed in the list years, but this subject, I said, must be greedy, he wants the money. So next day, I go to someone else. So someone else, he told me the same you passed. I didn't believe even. I wait until they put the result out, and I found I passed. And I left Egypt every year. I doing vow, and I have to serve in the church monastery 1 week to serve the Jews, and until I left. Another miracle, just I read it in the net last week. One lady, when she had problem at work to leave work early, she called Amba Musa and St. George, telling him, please, I need taxi, because it's not safe to stay outside for a long time to wait for taxi. She was waiting for taxi. She said, Amba Musa, Amba Musa. She found the taxi come. And the driver gave her a picture of Amba Musa. She was very happy. And she found he put a nice icon for St. George. But she told the driver, this Amir Tadros? He said, no, that's St. George. She told, no, that's Amir Tadros. He told her, no, that's St. George. She told him again. The driver told him, I am St. George. And it's a picture of St. Musa. And this is my picture, St. George. and he disappears. Okay? Beautiful to have very close friend of the saint, helping you a lot. You make commemoration for him. You always remember him. He always look after you. Any question? Thank you very much. We pray, we say, Aktiyos, Bigori Iswab Aba Musa, because that means almighty or the stronger. Okay? Thank you very much. God bless you. And if you want to come, we start big Vesper Tuesday in St. George, Kensington. And we have dinner for people, fish and salad, a big night, and all 10 months coming to us. Yeah, fish, they bring the food, and we bring the salad and the bread. And the beautiful, 2 churches joined for Feast of St. George, St. Musa, and we have his Ashiyah, Tasbiha, and Mass. Thank you very much.